Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, May the 11th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and before we get any further, let me put in a shameless plug for the Buck Creek Festival this weekend. ABC 3340 is happy to be a sponsor, and we've got a great lineup of music and all kinds of crafts and food, and just come down to the free festival, family-friendly, and enjoy the day. Across the vast fruited area of central Alabama, we have some patchy sun, and we also have some clouds, so a few more clouds than sun, actually. There's a look at the Trussville sky cam. And we move on down to Demopolis, and sky is completely overcast. Maybe a little bit of bright spot there near the horizon. But we get up around Hamilton, and you can see that at the Hamilton High School up there, there's a little bit of fog. So kind of a mixture across the area. We're dealing with at least two fronts right now. One is moving through central Alabama as we speak in the morning hours. Expected to be through the area by probably very early afternoon. Second front poised off to our northwest that is going to bring in some cooler and drier air that promises to dip us back, believe it or not, to the 40s. In the upper atmosphere, we have a bit of a trough, and you can kind of see the double-barreled effect here. We've got the trough that's helping to generate showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern U.S. Over about the middle Mississippi River Valley, and then we see another trough back up over the Dakotas that is where the cool air or much colder air is. Not very cool this morning, though. Temperatures across central Alabama generally in the lower 60s, although you see Anniston dipping back to about 57, and we do have a little bit of fog in the area. On radar, the bulk of the rain is down over New Orleans and southeastern Louisiana. But if we look a little bit closer to home on the local radar, you can see that we do have a few showers in the vicinity of Fort Payne and Gunnersville, as well as a few showers in northern Tuscaloosa County. So indeed, we will see showers until we can get that front through, at least some scattered showers. The QPF for the next 5 days, basically very dry. Whatever we can get with these showers today is pretty much going to be it, so it's not going to be a uniform rain at all. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a small risk for severe storms along the Outer Banks area of the North Carolina and the Delmarva Peninsula area down to the coastal area of South Carolina. And on day 2, no organized severe storms, and out through day 4 or 5, we don't see anything. All right, the 06 CGFS model run, and there's our map for today at midday around 1 o'clock, and you can see the bulk of the rain is down along New Orleans over towards Apalachicola, but we're still handling and watching the front move through, so we do see the possibility of scattered showers. The trough kind of congeals, if you will, and we phase up everything on Sunday at midday. We are holding back that trough out over northern Mexico, but indeed over the eastern half of the country, you can see that very deep trough, and that's certainly going to be bringing some cooler air our way. Notice the 540 thickness line down into the Ohio River Valley. So not as cold as we saw with the last weather system, but certainly a nice cool down that we'll wish we had back in July. There's a look at the map, the upper air map for Monday at midday, and you can see that trough over the eastern half of the country. So Monday going to be a cool day, probably the coolest morning we'll see, with actually the possibility of some spots getting into the 30s, the upper 30s primarily. We stay dry Tuesday as that trough migrates off the east coast and we begin to come under a little bit of a ridge, but now we're beginning to watch that upper low over northern Mexico come out of that area. As it ejects across Texas and Oklahoma, we do expect to see some showers off to our west, but it still looks like Wednesday will be a dry day. On Thursday, that trough approaches the Mississippi River, and so I think we are going to see the possibility of at least a few showers, mostly scattered kind of rain. The trough comes by us, and we get just a slight northwesterly fetch to the upper flow on Friday, so at least that'll help keep temperatures in check a little bit, and that also keeps us in a pattern where we'll probably have to continue with some chance of showers on Friday. By Saturday, a weak ridge is coming over the central or southern Mississippi River Valley, and so we should once again be in pretty good shape as the weather begins to warm back up for next weekend. Looking out into Voodoo Country, we certainly do have a rather chilly look to the pattern around the 22nd. That means probably from about the 20th to the 22nd, we're going to see the threat of some showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern U.S., especially with a trough this strong and this deep for this time of year, maybe even the potential for some severe weather. And then when we get out finally to the very end of the period at about 372 hours, we see for Sunday, May 26th, we see basically that the coolish pattern is beginning to be replaced by a much warmer pattern as we see a pretty strong ridge poking its nose all the way up into south central Canada. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. Expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful Saturday. And don't forget the Buck Creek Festival down in Old Town Helena at the Buck Creek Park and Amphitheater. I'm Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.